Welcome back. So we learned our major scales, and we learned our minor scales. So now let's talk about how to improvise with them. What do we do? What are we thinking? Well, first things first, we're playing in a diatonic harmony, meaning we're staying in one key right now, a single key. So remember how when we were working with our pentatonic scales, we would change our pentatonic to match the chord that we were going over. And then, kind of mixing and matching that with, playing the key-centered approach. Now, when you play the full 7-note scale, you're literally playing every note that is in that key. So if you have two chords, say G major and then C major, if you play the G major scale when you're on G and the C major scale when you're on C, you're actually playing the key of G major for that second and then the key of C major. So it's not going to sound right because you're actually playing two different keys. But the reason you can switch with pentatonic scales is because the pentatonic scales, the notes in each of those, are contained in that home bass major scale, right? So all your notes are already in there. So what you want to do is, whether you're playing minor or major progressions, is when the chord switches, you want to think in terms of, where did my roots change? Where did my pentatonic scales change? But then when you add the 7 notes, so you're adding those 2 half steps, you add those as they relate to the tonic, the 1 chord, the key center, right? So for example, if I'm in, let's start with minor, why not, right? If I'm in A minor, okay, and I'm choosing to do a 1-4 progression in A minor, that's going to be A minor going to D minor, right? So my pentatonic scales are going to be your pattern 2, A minor, and then your pattern 5, D minor. Now when I switch to the D minor, right, and I want to play my full 7-note scales, I still play the half steps, which are related to A minor. I don't play the D minor scale. I play the D minor pentatonic scale, but then when I want to add the full 7 notes, I'm adding them, the full 7 notes as they relate to the key center. It's very important. So you want to stay in key. So here's what that would sound like. You got A minor going to D minor. So if you play a little A minor to D minor, so we're going to start and we're going to play just our A minor pentatonic and then D minor. Want to add our half steps and play the full scale, the notes that we have available are going to be from the A minor scale. So these are our available notes. Again, starting and ending on our lowest root. So I'm going to play the pentatonic scale of each chord, but my embellishing notes with those half steps are going to come just from the minor scale of the 1 chord, which is A. So check this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a 1-4-5, a 1-6-2-5, and a minor 1-4-5, and we're going to talk about improvising in those diatonic progressions. And we're going to look at the whole neck as a key center, right? So if we're playing a 1-4-5 in C, I'm seeing the whole thing in C major. I'm seeing the C major scale. My neck is C major, But I have my pentatonic of C, my pentatonic of my 4 chord of F, and my pentatonic of the 5 chord, which is G, and the corresponding arpeggios. So again, I can't stress this enough. Don't switch the 7-note scale for each specific chord that you're playing over. Only switch the pentatonic and the arpeggio. You want the chord tones. You want to outline those chord tones to say something about that chord, but you want the whole theme, the placement of the half notes, to be about the one chord, the root, the key you're in. This is diatonic music. We haven't gotten to crazy stuff yet. All right? So here we go. Let's start with exactly that, a 1-4-5 in C. Here's our F. So you think of the chord, pentatonic scale, and your half steps are from the C major scale. G, same thing. Pattern 3. Pentatonic scale, half steps are from C. You're going to do the same thing each time up. F. G. All right, next spot. Here's your F. G. Pattern 4. F. Here's your G. And lastly, pattern 5, this area. Here's your F. G. Excellent. So now we're going to do the 1-6-2-5 progression, and I'm going to do it in D major. So that's D major, B minor, E minor, and A major. So again, we're going to think of the whole guitar neck, D major, the whole neck. You have 5 patterns, D major. But when we go to our other chords in the progression, we're going to be focusing on those roots that have changed, the overall arpeggio, the skeleton of those chords, and the corresponding pentatonic scales. And all of our embellishments are going to be in the form of the half note, the half steps that exist in the key of D major. Okay, here we go. So again, D major everywhere. B minor. E minor. A major. We're going to go up and down the whole neck. Here we go. Make sure you hit that B because the chord changed. Hit that E, right? Nailed that A major arpeggio, right? Back to D. All right, and lastly, we're going to do a minor 1-4-5. So I'm going to do this one in G minor. Again, I want you to pick different keys, try different things. Each key has its own flavor and its own sound. So in G minor, our 1's going to be G minor, 4 is going to be C minor, and our 5 is going to be D minor. So again, I want to see the whole neck in G minor. G minor, G minor, G minor, G minor, right? But when I go to the C minor, I want to outlay that chord with the C minor arpeggio, give it some flavor with that C minor pentatonic scale, but all your half note embellishment comes from G natural minor. The same thing with D. You play the D minor arpeggio, the D minor chord, give a piece of that, the D minor pentatonic scale. But whenever you embellish with any half notes, it's from the G natural minor scale. Here we go. Again, whole neck, up and back. Nailed the C. D. Little piece of the chord. Arpeggio. All right, so I want you to post your video. I know it's going to be a long video, right? But this is very, very important for you to get down. The 1-4-5, the 1-6-2-5, and the minor 1-4-5. I want to see you having fun with it. I want to see you making it obvious that you are seeing the whole neck in G minor, F sharp major, whatever key you choose, right? And I would like you, if you could, choose a different key for each progression, just to change it up a little bit, and show that when the chord changes, right? You can use the jam tracks. When the chord changes, you are outlining that chord. You're saying something about that change, right? With your 5-note pentatonic scale, with your 3-note arpeggio of the corresponding chord. But when you play the full 7-note scale and you make those runs, it's about the tonic, the key center. So I want to see it up and down, the whole neck, and really have some fun with it. This is, the full 7-note scales give you a lot to work with. You have a lot of color, especially when you start doing them over different progressions. You can do this for days, for weeks, for months, for years. It's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to see what you come up with. Good luck.